You know what makes Tower of Terror Disney's #1 attraction is the details. When you think of a Disney attraction, the first thing that your mind usually goes to is either Cinderella's castle, Spaceship Earth, or the Tree of Life. Unfortunately, because of how Hollywood Studios is situated and sometimes marketed, in my opinion, the Tower of Terror is something that people do not really think of when they think of a Disney icon. However, for me, when it comes to the epitome of Disney Imagineering, the very first thing I think of is the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And this is why. As I said earlier, I always go to the fact that the Tower of Terror is the most detailed attraction that is in the park. Not only is it a show building, but rather it is a wraparound facade. And as you can see, most show buildings, they're only decorated on the front side, but yet when you look at the back side or the sides, all you see is blank walls. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like they are sushi, and they are wrapped in seaweed. But yet, the Tower of Terror, in my opinion, I do compare it to Beamy Bop, just because of all the variety and how the building is detailed and decorated with intention on all four sides. And the reason Disney did that is that Disney knew you could see the Tower of Terror from all the resorts, especially the Skyline resorts and Epcot. I'm not sure if it was intentional or not to have the tower resemble Morocco, or if it was a very happy accident, like Bob Ross would say. Regardless, because the tower size, tower is themed on all four sides, which really blows me away, and just how much thought and integrity the Imagineers had for the skyline and the overall immersive feeling of Disney. And matter of fact, because of the theming of this haunted hotel, Disney actually went out of the way to make it look like a resort rather than just a show building with a hotel theme. Then, upon closer inspection, you see the Art Deco style, the Mediterranean style, and all the little teeny tiny turrets. Who would have thought that so much effort would go into an attraction, but only when it comes to Disney's Tower of Terror, it is honestly the epitome of Imagineering. Not only is the exterior absolutely stunning, so is the interior. As you walk into the interior, you're basically teleported back into time into the 1917s, where the entire hotel is frozen and desolated. The Imagineers could have just put up a very basic interior and made it look very minimum. But it's really wild how the Imagineers took it to the next level, taking actual inspiration from one of the hotels in California. I forgot its name already, so I can't show an image. But it does share a very similar vaulted ceiling and a fireplace. Another interesting fun fact / tidbit is that the visual language inside of the tower is actually part of the Art Nouveau or Gothic art style, as you can see in Young Frankenstein's castle and the tower's lobby, especially when it comes to the pointed, ingrained chimneys. So yes, that's the lobby. So filled, so rich with details. Disney could have stopped there and be like, yeah, that's a hotel lobby, covered in spiderwebs, good enough, moving on. But no, Disney actually acquired some of the rarest furniture available, including 4 of 8 chairs. Matter of fact, 2 of the chairs in the lobby are actually in the Japanese museum, and the other 2 are missing. So it's wild to think that Disney has filmed as half a set of the world's 8 rarest chairs in this lobby. This building is already becoming a museum. And even in the boiler room, Disney went out of their way to acquire a 1920 Chicago boiler, which really shows just how authentic and realistic Disney wanted to keep this attraction, even though it's part of the Twilight Zone theme IP/theming, and even though it's a drop tower, it's a really, really enhanced drop tower. And yes, the sign itself blows me away. And what really blows me away is the cursive writing. Even though that Disney used a cursive font, it is still very, very legible, even from a distance. And what I really love about this sign is that it mixes a blend of serif font, which is the cursive, and the sans serif font, which is the capital letters. Very, very brilliant typography. And I just can't imagine the amount of work and hundreds of font combinations that the Imagineers must have shifted through to get the sign so iconic. And speaking of which, the Imagineers watched all 156 original Twilight Zone episodes, which really blows me away, because who would have thought that somebody would put so much detail, so much love, and so much integrity into a drop tower. Disney could have simply been like, well, it's Hollywood Studios, we got roller coasters, we gotta make a carnival theme, kind of like what Dinoland USA evolved into. But instead of going for a regular drop tower, Disney chose to make an immersive dark ride drop tower, which continues to really impress me as from an illustrator's perspective. And lastly, what really impresses me the most is that this was Disney's second automated AVG automated guidance vehicle enabled rides. So not only do you drop in one shaft, you actually travel from these show shafts all the way down to the drop shaft, and you rock it up and down. That aspect of fifth dimension really does elevate this drop tower in terms of detail. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoy all things Tower of Terror, especially the Hollywood Tower Hotel, which is the best thing on the planet, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Tony Hotel for even more Tower of Terror content. And we'll see you in the next video.